Have you ever kept a secret inside your heart so powerful that it felt like a storm waiting to break free? If you have ever smiled at someone in silence while hiding your trembling feelings, then this story will touch your soul. But before I share my secret, let me remind you to hit the subscribe button right now, because here on Story Orchard I tell stories that not only capture your emotions, but also help you improve your English step by step. And today, I am opening the most fragile chapter of my life. My name is Emily Carter, and this is the story of my secret crush on a boy named Ryan Mitchell. A story of love hidden behind silence, of courage that almost never came, and of the words I should have spoken sooner. I still remember the first day I noticed him. Ryan was standing near the school library holding a guitar case and laughing with his friends. His laughter was deep yet gentle, and for some reason it pulled me in like gravity. I pretended not to stare, but my eyes betrayed me every single time. He had messy brown hair that never seemed to stay in place, and eyes so full of life that you felt safe just looking at them. I told myself it was just a silly crush, but weeks turned into months, and every time I saw him the feelings only grew stronger. I was the quiet type, always sitting at the back of the class writing notes and doodling in my notebook, while Ryan was the type everyone noticed instantly, confident, funny, always surrounded by people. The exact opposite of me. And yet something about him felt so different. He wasn't arrogant like the other popular boys. He held doors open for teachers, helped juniors find their way, and once I even saw him share his lunch with a kid who forgot his own. That was the day I realized my secret crush wasn't just about looks. It was about the kind of person he was. But how could a girl like me ever confess to someone like him? I was afraid of rejection, afraid of ruining even the small invisible connection that existed only in my heart. So I kept my feelings buried. And instead I poured them into a little secret diary that no one knew about. Every night before sleeping I wrote letters to him. Letters he would never read. Dear Ryan, today you smiled in the hallway, and my whole day felt brighter. Dear Ryan, I wish I had the courage to talk to you. Dear Ryan, maybe one day you'll know. It was painful, but it was my only way of surviving this secret. Until one day fate decided to play a little game with me. The English teacher announced a storytelling contest and randomly paired students together. My heart nearly stopped when she said, "Emily Carter with Ryan Mitchell." I wanted to disappear right there. But at the same time I couldn't believe this miracle. For the first time ever I had a real reason to talk to him, to sit with him, to share words not just in my diary, but in real life. Our first meeting was awkward. My hands were shaking so badly, I could barely hold the script. But Ryan just smiled warmly and said, "Don't worry, Emily, we'll make this fun." His voice was calm and his confidence contagious. Slowly I began to relax. We started practicing every afternoon in the library, and then sometimes in the park near school. He would tease me when I forgot lines, and I would roll my eyes pretending to be annoyed, but secretly loving every second. We shared snacks, we shared ideas, and somewhere between rehearsing lines and laughing at mistakes, we started sharing little pieces of our lives. He told me about his dream of becoming a musician. I told him about my fear of speaking in public, and how I always hid behind books. Instead of laughing, he listened carefully. And for the first time in my life, I felt that someone truly understood me. Ryan didn't just become my crush anymore. He was slowly becoming my best friend. And yet, I still couldn't tell him how I really felt. The contest day finally arrived. My stomach was in knots as we stepped onto the stage together. My voice trembled during the first few lines, but then I saw him glance at me with that reassuring smile, as if saying, "You can do this." And somehow my fear melted away. We told our story in perfect rhythm, his confidence balancing my nervousness, my words supporting his expressions. The audience clapped so loudly I felt like flying. For the first time in my life I felt brave. But when the spotlight turned off and the night ended, I still kept my secret locked inside. Weeks passed. Our friendship grew stronger. And every day I fought with myself. Should I tell him or not? What if he didn't feel the same? What if I lost even this little happiness I had? Until one rainy afternoon, everything changed. Ryan and I were walking home under one umbrella, when suddenly he stopped and looked at me with eyes more serious than ever before. The rain poured around us, but in that silence my heart was louder than thunder. He said softly, "Emily, can I tell you something?" My voice cracked when I said yes. He looked down nervously and whispered, "I think I have a crush on someone, but I don't know how to say it." My whole body froze. Could it be? Could he be talking about me? My lips trembled as I asked, "Who is it?" He looked up at me with that playful spark in his eyes and said, "I'll give you a hint. She's standing right in front of me." Tears filled my eyes instantly. I laughed and cried at the same time as I whispered, "Ryan, I've been waiting to hear that for so long. Because I've always liked you too." And in that magical rainy moment, my secret crush turned into something real. Something beautiful. Something unforgettable. That day I learned a lesson that will stay with me forever. Hiding feelings only makes the heart heavier. Sometimes we are so afraid of rejection that we forget the possibility of love waiting for us on the other side of fear. If I had stayed silent one more day, I might have lost him forever. So to anyone listening, don't lock your heart away in fear. Speak your truth. You never know. The person you're dreaming about might be dreaming of you too.